Hi, we're the Huge Movie Fanatics, and we're here to bring you a review for The Social Network, which was in my top 5 favorite movies the year it came out.
Which is what year?
That was 2010, right? That was, yeah, it came out in 2010, and it was the favorite to win the Oscar that year until a little picture called The King's Speech came and sort of pulled the rug out from under it. That was, I think, my second favorite movie of the year. Toy Story 3 was my favorite. But Social Network was an easy 4-star movie for me. I was just... Aaron Sorkin's a great writer. I'm a fan of his television. I'm a fan of his other films. And he wrote the screenplay to this, and the screenplay is just pitch perfect. David Fincher, terrific visualist. He sets a tone and mood with every camera frame and just lighting and everything, and he did such a beautiful job on this movie, and I was really pulling, like, finally he's going to get the attention and Oscar he deserves. Nope. And I think this is his best movie. He got a nomination.
Oh, that stupid movie, that Forrest Gump one, didn't that get anything?
He didn't do Forrest Gump.
No, the Forrest Gump one, the Forrest Gump-ish movie, that
the
Curious Case, didn't that get any
no.
stupid award?
Avatar came out.
He didn't do Forrest Gump.
No, I was like, that's Zemeckis.
Okay, continue.
Avatar and The Hurt Locker took things that year. Anyway, I think this is Fincher's best movie, in my opinion, and the cast was the key. Cast was key in the movie. Jesse Eisenberg is insanely good. One of my, I guess now former coworkers, looks and speaks just like him. It's really weird and kind of disconcerting.
Barnes and Noble?
Yeah, from Barnes and Noble. Yeah, it's really fantastic. His performance was just, man, he was great, and I felt he was kind of robbed for an Oscar. Though Colin Firth is also a fantastic actor. He's been doing it a lot longer, so I was fine that he got it. Andrew Garfield was just freaking brilliant in the Social Network.
I saw this just recently after Spider-Man. This is my second Andrew Garfield, and when I saw that, I'm like, whoa, I mean, for me, he's the best in the movie.
When he comes through those double doors telling Jesse Eisenberg that he's going to sue him, or Mark Zuckerberg rather, that he's going to sue him, like, you just feel the anger within him as he just, like, bursts through the doors and he just comes walking, like, he has so much power in his small little frame that you're like, holy shit, is he going to hit him? Like,
oh lordy.
Yeah, like, it was that moment was just so fantastic, and it has a lot of sort of interesting things to sort of say about Facebook, and it makes it kind of feel weird a little bit about using Facebook if you are a user of the Facebook, which I am, and he's not any longer. Actually, you got off of Facebook around the time this movie was coming out, if memory serves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I love it.
So you mentioned some things about, and what were you going to say? Like, says some weird things.
Just sort of like it just makes you kind of feel weird for Facebook. I mean, the way I don't know if it's accurate to real life, but the way he sort of uses it is sort of in a weird way to keep tabs on the girl that kind of got away. That it all started basically because of this fight.
Well, in the movie, I mean, we have no idea how reality.
Yeah. Apparently, Mark Zuckerberg saw the movie and he liked it, but he wasn't like. I don't think he was entirely blown away with his characterization. But like, he's not painted out to be a bad guy either, which I thought was kind of nice. And there's nobody who's painted out to be a good guy or a bad guy or anything like that. There's sort of several shades of gray for everybody, and I think that's sort of realistic to how that kind of stuff works anyway. But yeah, I absolutely adored this movie. What did your...
Yeah, I found it for cheap on DVD, so I thought, well, it was a big deal, kind of, so I figured I'd just get it and see it. Because, I mean, I like David Fincher. I mean, not a lot of his recent stuff, but I like David Fincher. I thought I'd give it a try, and yeah, I thought it was great. One thing I was just if there's if you need an example of a Talking Heads movie, this is it. I mean, it's just like so I'm not particularly used to that. It's not my most favorite form of filmmaking, but I watched it again second time, and going in knowing what to expect the second time, I was prepared. So, but like the first scene is just like and one of the problems is like the sound, like the dialogue in those loud scenes, like the first scene is so quiet. And it's like, what? Huh? And some of those scenes where I don't understand, why people go to loud places to talk, but whatever, it's their prerogative, I guess. It makes no sense to me, but it's just like, but yeah, that first scene was just like, and you can see like, I don't know what the guy Zuckerberg is like in real life, but we're just reviewing the movie, and the movie as the character is portrayed, you can see where a person who's like gonna be, inclined to be a good computer person is not gonna be so, like he was like at the first scene, like a robot almost, like he's talking to a robot, which is no fault of his own,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the way his brain is configured, and it was interesting to actually, that first scene was actually interesting in that way, where he was like making jokes, but in a very robotic, cold way, and kind of, it was almost the best scene of his character in a way, just that first conversation, and how it's, beginning, a middle, and end in that little scene, and it's just like, yeah, and I did think it was an interesting way to have it do a kind of a bookend by having that first scene, and then I thought it was, because when you're doing a movie like this, where you're doing something about someone's life or whatever, there's really no beginning or an end, so you got to make a beginning and an end, and I thought that was a great way to do it, and by having, and that ending I actually liked because it was more my kind of filmmaking, which is with no words, by having him simply just refresh, and here he's got like the biggest thing ever, and I don't know how much money he's got at that time in the movie.
A billionaire, though.
At that time in the movie?
Yeah, I believe so.
Anyway, he's got probably some money at that time in the movie. And this is like what he's actually, the most important thing is, will she friend me on? And I thought that meant that said a whole shitload of a lot, that last bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it shows that money, success, it's really not what's important. It's the connections with people ultimately that are kind of the most important thing. And the end was just, with that, was just great. And again, done in that way with no dialogue, which I prefer. So, I was blown away by, actually at first I didn't know it was Andrew Garfield until a few minutes into his scene, and then I'm like, oh, that's Spider-Man, So, but that guy just blew my ass away, and his obsessive girlfriend, when I thought it was so funny when your relationship status says single, and it's like, I don't know how to change. The CFO of Facebook doesn't know how to. I thought that was really funny. Wasn't that funny?
Yeah, I like that.
And he's like, exactly what he's telling. He's being honest, and he says, well, the fact that I even told you should show how much I trust you,
Yeah.
And it's like he's just the victim of this person who's so whatever. And the fact that when they first got together with them, they're like, we got groupies. And wasn't that fun?
Yeah. I like Justin Timberlake a lot in the movie too.
Oh, he was horrible.
You didn't like
horrible. For me, he's just the bad thing about the movie. That's the only movie I've seen him in. So is this like the best? I mean, his acting just, I don't know.
I thought it was really realistic to like how that type of personality is, and it must have been really weird for him because he was sort of one of those musicians who was campaigning against that specific person for creating
playing
like,
that part.
Yeah, like how weird was it to play that part where you're like, you spent years basically fighting this dude and kind of hating him because he's essentially stealing all your money and your like assets in order to play that person in a movie and then get paid for it. Like that's kind of like it's kind of one of those weird life things.
That could be a reason why I don't like that characters, because I don't like the character.
Yeah, the character is like he was such a douchebag, but I thought Justin Timberlake did such a great job playing that douchebag.
I don't know.
Like I've seen Justin Timberlake can actually act, and I'm excited to see where his career goes because he's really funny. He did like a couple Saturday Night Live things where he was one of the best hosts I've seen in years for that. Most people just can't host that show worth a damn, even like really good professional actors. But he's actually good, talented, and versatile. So I want to see him in like a non-traditional role, and he's going to be in a new Clint Eastwood movie. I saw the preview for.
I thought Clint Eastwood was done acting with Gran Torino, and then he's back. And
he's back, and the movie looks good. And Timberlake isn't playing Timberlake; he's playing a sort of a different kind of character. So I'm kind of excited to see how that is.
Man, how much longer can Clint go is the question. Holy.
I don't know. He sounds like Batman.
The thing about Gran Torino that I liked is that was a perfect way, as far as being in front of the camera, for him to go out. And the fact, I guess having him back is, more the better. But I thought that was a great. I thought that was his going out way. It's
sort of like Leonard Nimoy with Star Trek, where he was like, "That's going to be it," and I'm like, you know what? Good job. You had a great last movie, and then he's in Transformers, like, for his voice, and it's or like Sean Connery, I guess, just being in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Kicking ass. How old was he?
I don't know, but he chose that movie to be a retirement movie, and it's like, why not the better one?
Oh well.
Clint had his awesome one, and hopefully this is better. Anyway, Social Network.
So yeah, you done? I mean, yeah, I thought it was
4 stars. Would you?
I'll go 3.5. I mean, probably, 3.5. Oh, this was also actually, I researched a little bit, actually shot high definition 4K resolution on, I guess, what's called Red Cam, which I guess is what a lot of people are using for high definition. So, because I got a projector and I put it on the wall, and the contrast was really, really shitty. And then I was just like, why is that? And then I put it on the TV. I'm like, this looks digital, and I'm like, well, sure. Well, it's got to be,
Yeah.
So that was interesting, actually, because when you look at it, I mean, well, when I looked at it on the TV, it was like, well, these shooting night exteriors they pretty much, it looks like, available light. So I'm like, well, that's kind of like with Collateral, that's why. But it's interesting to me why I thought it was kind of interesting. Oh, you were talking about the music when I got here. The music was very cool because you got a movie which is kind of technological, because it's dealing with the internet. So in a way, I'm like, well, why shoot digital? But in a way, it's kind of fitting in
Everything
a way.
is all digital.
Because and then the music is very much like Tron.
Yeah, it was
Legacy or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, but shooting HD with a movie that is all about that, because I'm like, to me, I wonder. I mean, I think film looks best, and I always wonder when people, make that choice. Why do they make it? I mean,
if you're a filmmaker who knows how to use digital, I think Robert Rodriguez is good, where he makes his digital films not really look that digital, because he makes kind of digitally progressive movies anyway. Like in his movies, even like Machete or something like that, has a very strong visual style. I think he knows how to use digital well, but then you get other filmmakers who don't really use it that well. But I thought it worked for this because it's like, because it's all digital. It's all about like the story.
Right, yeah.
One thing I forgot that I loved, Armie Hammer plays the twins in the movie. One actor playing 2 guys. That was incredible.
What?
Yeah, that wasn't twins. That was one actor playing 2 gentlemen.
Holy shit! I didn't even know. Talk about a use of special effects.
Yeah, and it was all done digitally and with stand-ins and stuff like that. But like the fact that they're talking, they touch each other. It's just the thought that had to go into doing that. It's like, how did Fincher not get an Oscar for that? Just like, because like that was such a creative way to do it.
Well, like what's his name said about 2001. Maybe the Oscars didn't know the apes were fake. I think someone was disappointed when they didn't get an Oscar, and they said, well, maybe they didn't know the apes were fake, and maybe the same thing. I didn't know that there were one guy played 2.
Yeah, one guy played.
Could be the very same reason. I mean,
yeah.
Holy cow! The one thing I actually liked those characters and the way that they were actually. I mean, that one was like, actually not that I don't think people. Well, maybe they do, but like we don't do that. We're gentlemen of art.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's respectable in a way.
Yeah, I really liked those characters.
There was some line where it's like, I can, you know, I'm 6 whatever, I weigh this, and there's 2 of me.
Yeah,
You know?
that
was funny.
That was one of the best
That was
movies.
fun.
Apparently, the real twins in real life saw the movie, and they walked up to the actor at like one of the premieres, and they're like, "I never would have worn that hat," because he's one of to show that he was 2 different people, and to get him right, he had like a winter hat kind of thing
I
on,
saw that.
and the one twin who he was playing in that moment was like, "I never would have worn that hat," and he was like all upset about it. But apparently, they really liked how he played them.
That is insane. Now I gotta watch it again. Well, I kind of want to get the Blu-ray because now that I know it was shot, you know, like 4K and
Yeah.
HD, I kind of want to see every little
They have
nuance of
a making of where you see extensively how they did that.
That's
all
crazy.
those
Now I
things,
gotta
and
watch
was just like,
those
"Oh my
scenes again
God."
and go,
Well, it's just like when I first saw it, I was like, man, those guys were good. I've never seen them before. How have I not seen them? So I sat through the credits and I'm like, well, why does it say the twins? And then I was like, that no way was that one guy. So I immediately went to IMDb and I was like, oh my God, holy shit! And like I literally like made a huge Facebook thing, and I was like, everybody who's seen this movie, did you know that? And I got a whole bunch of reactions like you just had.
all right, tell you what,
bullshit.
this is 4 stars just for that. No, I'm not even kidding. That, I was holding back because, like, I don't know, I don't necessarily love all the HDs about it, but I was like, you know, I was holding back for technical reasons in a way, but I'm like, okay, there's a technical, you know, half star.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit. I mean, it's that good anyway. Oh,
Yeah.
one thing that confused me about the movie when I first saw it, it was much more enjoyable when I saw it again, is when they start going, they show this, and then they show the court stuff,
Yeah.
and then they go back. It was confusing for the first couple, like the first time, and especially if they're doing 2 different courts.
Well, they're playing a time. And
Yeah, right. But it was that kind of stuff always catches me off guard, you know. But they made a point to have him wearing, like, I think the same thing in each of the whole time or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, that was confusing at first. But when I saw it a second time, it was so much more enjoyable because I knew it was such an insanely talking heads movie, and I knew that there was 2 court cases, and the way it played with time, and the way they'll say stuff, and then they'll cut to the court being like, did you say that? Or something like that. I mean, it was just great, and the chicken thing, and it's also a very good movie. It just shows the ridiculous monotonous of the legal system as well.
Yeah,
and probably, you know, people who are interested in law should probably watch it.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And not, you know, not only just internet, but yeah, it's 4 stars,
Same
even
here.
regardless of technical stuff, come to think of it. It's just all around great, and I think I'll probably pick up the Blu-ray just to see every little, and yeah, if you get the soundtrack, give me it.
Right on.
So there you go. Social Network, thank you very much for watching, and is that pretty much it?
That's it.
All right, you can't find me on Facebook, but, so there. I'm not on Facebook. We can get into a whole nother video. You could do a whole day on Facebook, but anyway, we got other stuff to do today, so thanks a lot.
Peace.